There's these things. There's sidewalks that are broken, verges, pipes that are damaged. It's really, from what I know, have the resources to be able to fix these issues, and then now go and bill those private contractors for damage. So it's either work stoppages or it's really fixing the problem. I don't see any other solution logically to fixing that sort of problem. But the matter at hand is we have problems in our community. And it's not just our community, frankly, it's all over the ground, it's all over Durban. We've seen this. So I decided as a young individual in my community to stand up and say, I'm not going to let this happen in my community. People may allow it in other communities. I'm going to ask the questions, and I need answers from everybody as to what's going on with this.
All of those people were unskilled people in doing the installation. I'm a certified qualified artisan for the last 40 years. I actually kicked the guy off my property because of his bad attitude. When I tried to correct him or help him, he didn't want my help. He was very adamant. I said, please leave my property. And I did the installation myself once they had gained access into the property. The problem I've got is the access point from the pavement into the property. They use cheap materials. They use like a Spiroflex. They don't have a conduit to support fibre. I'm an experienced guy with fibre, with my background, and I've done multiple installations in the Cape and in KZN. And what they've done, they just left it openly. A guy can come with a grass cutting machine and he can snip my fibre.
So to me, this is actually a disaster. Whoever programmed this project and never sat with the contractors and discussed this with them and with the community, and it's, as I can, the famous two words is no accountability and no transparency here. This is the problem that always happens, and we have it in the municipality. There's no accountability and there's no transparency. So I'll just say this was a disaster project, because then you're having double damages. When you have come along now, the second guy that come around, now they damage the same house again. All your electricity. They buggered up my driveway. Okay? They stick the patch that was there before, take it out, try and take it out nice and neatly, and then put the patch back. So we must accept those kind of things. So there's no control from the municipality and from the private sector. That is.
Somebody had to give them permission, right? That person that gave them permission, who was that person? You're going to do a root cause analysis. Once you've done a root cause analysis, you'll identify how to fix this up. So whoever's given them permission, where it was municipality to give them the go-ahead to do what they agreed, they should have overseen each and every contractor. They should have made sure that I do a lot of training for the guys that are digging this fibre and digging the trenches, right? And they speak about a principal contractor. They subcontractor, they tell me about a principal contractor that is always auditing their safety files and giving them a hard time, right? So I am well aware of what's going on out there with regards to the safety and everything. But who is this principal contractor they speak about? Who is the one that gave the principal contractor the rights to start digging? With this municipality, they need to have engineering. They should have their guys overseeing what's happening on the floor.
There's fibre running our sewage manholes, and that fibre is actually gathering and actually blocking our manholes. So I think what we need to do at this point in time, we need to investigate all our manholes and find out where this fibre and who has been responsible for putting fibre into our manholes. It's not acceptable. Thank you, Chair.
Just to actually issue a stop before it goes any further. To get hold of the engineering department and say, listen, there's a major problem here. Stop. Stop. Because we've got water sat here and I can see them shaking their heads because you guys are getting called out at all sorts of times to come resolve things. You're catching a lot of flack when it's nothing to do with you. It's these guys bursting your pipes. So again, I apologize for that flack that comes through. And I mean, if the electrical department was here too, they would also be apologizing to them, because it's not eThekwini that is not delivering a service. Our services are being wrecked. And then we're blaming eThekwini because the services are being wrecked. But surely that without an intervention from the council side, and they go back to eThekwini and say, my ward is in an absolute mess. These fibre guys are causing absolute damage to my ward. Can we not stop it?
So if the chief whip is blessing us with names, I'm concerned then, how is it that the councillor does not have those names that should be within her directory? And if she does, then it means that Clifford is not giving us anything new. One, that information should be available so that gentlemen like yourself and other ward committee members whose province those specifically are, they have the necessary people that they can contact. Otherwise, the issue becomes deferred, and then you sit with disgruntled people like ourselves.
She's done a sterling job since she took over at the beginning of the year. She has built up so many contacts and that she can go directly to. It has taken her time. She's worked day and night. She's on call 24/7 until we said no. So we applaud her. We thank her. The war room has been a problem. There should have been a whole war of people standing there. It was a complete breakdown. I hope that today we're starting a new type of war room, and that it's now going to work as it should work. With Zoe here, she is the war room. She has been the war room. I'm not picking you out. I'm just saying she's done a sterling job. I don't think we need to discuss it further. Thank you very much.
So when I first heard that it was now coming to the bluff, and that they weren't appointing a CLO and the private sector, I asked to meet the people who were considered to be the supervisors. There was 3 companies that were coming to dig up the bluff. And first I asked them, how do you plan to dig up 3 times? They said, no, that's how we do it all over the country, and I was absolutely alarmed. Because I knew for a fact that nobody was going to take for their sidewalks to be cut up 3 times. So I asked for phone numbers, I asked for open communication. I said, when you are on the ground, who is your person that I'm going to phone when the residents have an issue? And they were very open about giving me the phone numbers of their main supervisors. What then transpired is, I said, normally if you came to the municipality, I would ask you to please use my local labour and skilled people so that the community is benefiting from you being here. They did graciously take about 125 unskilled labourers from the bluff. I organised for them to meet at Bayview Park. They bought their IDs and they duly gave over 100 people work, unskilled labourers. So that was as a favour. The problem started to come in for me as a councillor when water pumps and cables for electricity started to get hit by people who were digging. They had plans, but boy, those plans meant nothing. They looked so professional, with all their paperwork and their files and their reflector lists, but when they started to work, it became a nightmare. And we have been through so many service delivery issues with the Fibre being here. The only reason I wanted to bring up this point is because there was no etiquette issue that was not dealt with directly through me. People contacted me the minute their water went off, the minute the pipes were being broken. I'm not saying it wasn't bad. There have been almost 100 incidences. I'm grateful that when the contractors were ignoring the issues that the people had, the city still came out and fixed it. The city still said to me, I will go and look at this person's sewage issue, but it is not our fault, it was the fault of the private company. So trying to bring everybody to the same party to fix issues has been a nightmare. I cannot wait to see the back of Fibre installation on the bluff. Telkom came in, they didn't start digging the ground up, they started putting gun poles in front of everybody's houses. That was another issue. I can't see the sea, I have a gun pole in front of me. I kept a list of what they were doing, and the city technicians and artisans had a really good turnaround time, I'll be honest. They were coming out to help 24 hours, and people were being communicated with. And from the side of being the councillor representing the people to the city, the damage that was done by the Fibre people was being taken care of. In as much as private damage was happening, like people's tarmac, and the one gentleman had his sewer leak for 2 months before the supervisor came to fix it. Eventually, about 3/4 of the way through the projects, I insisted that the supervisors hire their own plumbers and that the plumbers were on site continuously. The problem with it, I would say, is that they were getting away with murder because even Ava, who has so much experience, came to me and said, listen, I've run construction sites for 40 years, where's the toilets? Where's the signage? Do the people know who's on site? You know, his experience was valuable to me as a councillor, because I was able to contact those same people and say, you're supposed to have a toilet, you're supposed to have signage.
I'm giving you a free advice. In the war room, there is no attacker in the defender. You must be able to distinguish between a problem and a person. What do I mean? This is a problem that we are facing as a community of Ward 66, right? Put the problem here. Don't attach a problem to a person. This is a problem that we are facing. You have mentioned the issue of the fibre, because I'm not reciting here, but I'm trying to follow up that. What is your frustration as the community of 166? Your approach should have been saying, there was a company, right? The company who was installing a fibre in 166, and our driveway was damaged. I'm making an example. It was not patched, right? Then you are dealing with the matter. When you do that, firstly, if you talk about the issue of a fibre, my question, convener and the councillor that I wanted to ask is that contractor who's installing fibre still on the ground, or the project is long term? They are on the ground. Now the issue here is that they are putting the fibre and damaging the access road to our homes or to the roads. That is the issue. Is that the issue?
And the quality
and the quality of work. I said in those instances, you need people who will take decision to solve the problem. Old man, listen. listen, old man. I said I will give you a free lesson. You see, okay. You said his hand up. You know. In 1950s, right? There was an old man called Kenny Ndovu and Eric Mchai. They were younger than Albert Lutu. And they wanted to fight because the blood was hot. They were still young. Listen to me. I said I'll give you a free lesson. They went to Albert Lutuli to ask for a blessing. You know what Albert Lutuli said to them? He said, I see you, Eric and Kenny. You are angry and you want to fight these people. But let me tell you, one day you will get older. And once you get old, you will know what the war is. War is not the end. War is not the end. What I'm saying to you, Convene, is that we want to assist you here. But in order for us to assist you, we must understand the problem. Now the problem has been explained, Council, right? That one day is Africa, what's the name of it?
Link Africa.
Link Africa. But for us, there is no contractor who come to any municipal area without the information of a certain department, right? Now, the issue of Fibre and the roads belongs to engineering. I'm giving you a solution to the problem. I'm solving the X for you. Then I leave. No, let me continue to feed. Let me finish up. I'm giving you a solution to the problem before I leave. I will listen to you, but you must allow me to leave. Engineering, right? I'll give you two people. Because in our next meeting, even if I'm not here, what I'd like to hear is that the problem is solved. If the problem is not solved, when is it going to be solved? Who will solve the problem? If the problem is not solved, what is the consequence? The community is not happy about the quality of work that is happening in the world. Then we need the intervention, right? We need the intervention and we need to report in our next meeting. That's how war room should be working. It's not about fighting one another. We don't have the power. The power that we have is to fight, is to break the barricade, right? When there's a barricade, we must find a way of breaking the barricade so that our community will be happy, because we are here to assist you so that your frustration will be finished. So I'll give you these two gentlemen. Tell them that Chief was here. This is a problem that we have, because no one here will answer. Because no one is a contractor, no Africa who is here. And no one from the engineering department who is here. So what does that mean? It means we'll talk, but we won't come with a solution. So we need someone who will solve the problem. That's what the war room should be doing. The war room is about solving the problem. But the next one, Councillor, I'm sorry that you were elected on this line. It's not acceptable that there is a sewer spillage. This gentleman is from water. It's not acceptable that there is a sewer spillage and the sewer spillage took 2 months before it's fixed. That is not acceptable. You see, it comes to your answer that you asked me earlier on, that if there is a problem, how long, what a time frame of long. Those things, it's like those things of street light, those things of grass cutting, those things of sewer spillages, there is water problem. Those need urgent intervention. If those issues are not attended within 48 hours, there must be an explanation, right? So I'll give you those two numbers before I go. And I would like if you can copy me so that I'll make it forward. Because I don't want you to mention me when things are not done, to say even the chief was here but the problem was not solved. If I'm here, things must be solved.
Thank you.